Hello out there, my friends. God bless you. God bless you. I'm Kyle Searcy, and
Kemi Searcy.
We're the pastors of FreshAnointing House of Worship, one church in many locations. We have Montgomery, Alabama, Norcross, Georgia, many FreshAnointing House of Worship churches, and a lot of churches we're connected with Fresh Oil Fellowship of Churches, and a lot of friends and family out there. We're so grateful that you've tuned in to this time. This is our pre-service. This is not our main service, our pre-service. Our main service is going to start in just about half an hour. We're going to talk to you for just a minute. So go ahead and let somebody know we're here. The stream is live. I think you're really going to enjoy what happens. So here's what's about to happen. We're going to talk for about half an hour on a subject I think is really going to bless you. After that, there's going to be a phenomenal time of praise and worship. Boy, it's going to be great. Then I'm coming with a message that I think is really going to touch you in a very significant way. So we're going to have some fun dialoguing here. So glad that you've tuned in and have this time with us. God's been good, hasn't he, Kimmy?
Yeah, awesome.
It's been incredible.
Really good.
It's been really incredible. So we want to talk today about destiny, and we want to talk about fighting for destiny. You know, every one of us have a destiny,
Yes.
but destiny is something you got to fight for. You got to run after. In fact, the message I'm about to preach in a minute is titled Warring for Your Inheritance. Warring for your inheritance. You have an inheritance from God. You have a destiny, but we have to fight and we have to war for that destiny. And your life has been one of warring.
Yes.
Your life's been one of fighting. And a lot of people maybe hear stories here and there, but I don't think people really understand where you came from totally and how good God has been. But sometimes we think about how good God is. People think that God favors some people. They don't understand that when there's destiny, you got to fight for it. So I want to talk about that for just a minute. So let's dialogue about that. You guys ready to dive in? I'm ready to dive in. Come on, give me some of those hearts on Facebook and let's just dive right in. So give me some insight on your upbringing, your background. You grew up in Kumasi, Ghana, but what was that like?
Well, this morning I was playing a tape by Sinach, and she said, no one knows, like I know, how good the Lord has been.
What he's done for me.
What he's done for me.
Wow.
No one knows. And so,
well, help us know a little bit. Tell us a little bit about it.
I grew up in West Africa, Ghana, and my mother had 11 of us.
Okay.
I was number 2 of 11 children.
Okay.
And so growing up, 2 later on, but
she had 11 kids, no epidural.
11 kids, no. 9 of us in the same room.
Wow.
Not one bedroom flat. It was one room.
Now, when you say one room, what do you mean one room? So 9 of you kids living by yourself or with the parents?
With the parents.
In one room?
Yes.
So when you say one room, what are you talking about? What size is the room? Is it like you would go into a Chick-fil-A?
Yeah.
Or maybe is it more like the size of a bathroom or dining? What size room?
It's like 12 by 12.
You mean 12 feet by 12 feet?
Yes.
Like 144 square feet?
Yes, room. And, you know, Africa, they have what they call the compound houses.
Okay.
They build a big house and different rooms. One room, one room, one room, one room.
Okay.
And on the side here will be one big kitchen. And then on the side here will be a bathroom, maybe 2 toilets and 2 bathrooms.
So it's like a shared
showers.
Compound.
It's a shared compound.
So you don't even have your own kitchen. You got to go out and cook in the same place everybody else cooks.
Yes.
Where do you keep your pots and pans?
Well, in front of our room was a small veranda that, you know, we had a box with our dishes in.
On the outside?
On the outside, it's like, this is the room and they have a small veranda in front of the room.
Wow.
So you have your, dishes on one side in a box, and then maybe a box with clothing and stuff, different things you want to store up. So
you didn't really even like have closet space in this one room. It's just like one room.
It's just like one room. No, there was no closet.
12 by 12 room.
Yes.
9 kids, 2 adults.
2 adults.
What was it like?
And in the room, when you got in the room, there was a bed and a curtain in front of the room, like they would pull up at night.
Okay, so the mom and dad would pull a curtain up at night in case they needed to have a meeting.
Oh, you know.
All right, all right.
And then us kids, we kids, will put a blanket on the concrete floor.
Not a mattress, a blanket.
No, just a blanket that in the morning you fold up. At night you put it there.
When you slept on concrete floor?
Yes.
Pillows, do you have pillows?
No. There was no pillows for us. I always wanted a pillow.
Really?
If you had asked me growing up what I wanted, I would have said pillow.
Wow. Is that why you had me buy my pillow the other day?
That's why I have 12 pillows on my bed.
Wow. So no pillow, just a hard blanket on the floor, all 9 of you.
And then we would lay down like this. You know, I always tell a funny story about one of my siblings was a bedwetter, wet. So sometimes you wake up in the morning, if you happen to be closer to the person, you wake up in the morning and you are wet and you think, and you go to the bathroom and you find out that it wasn't you.
Wow.
Somebody else had wee-weed on you. That was how close we will be laying down.
Wow.
You know, and then.
So what about, did like people snore back then? Was it hard to sleep? Were you awakened all the time of people nudging on you and touching you?
It was a way of life, so I guess you are used.
You just adapt to it and just do what you do.
That's how you found yourself. So that's what normal is for you.
Wow. So how did y'all cook? Where was the cooking?
Well, you know, you go to the big kitchen, but we were so blessed because there was it was a 2-story. So our room was right by the stairs going up. So underneath the stairs, we put a stove there.
Oh, so you had it going on.
Yes.
Even God is good at it. What they do it. You know, that's interesting because did your dad work? Did the man of the house work? Because I know
he worked.
Okay.
But he was a gambler, so
okay.
he never brought money home.
Okay.
And he was also a thief. My mom will hide her little meager money.
Okay.
And by the time she get ready to go to the store or the market or whatever, she'll go to where she hid it and the money will be gone.
So you guys grew up in real poverty. I mean, it's really hard.
My mother was not well.
Okay.
You know, at some point in growing up, we realized she was not well, so she struggled. You know, some kind of health issues that she had. Okay. You know, so it was tough.
Wow.
You know, it was a challenge
going on
in so many ways.
So you had to learn to fight.
At some point.
So what are some of the ways you had to fight just growing up?
Let me tell you something. When it came to dinner time, we have one big bowl of rice.
Okay, so everybody doesn't have like their own plates?
No.
Okay, everybody just eats out the bowl?
Yes, everybody eats out of the bowl with our fingers.
Okay.
Eating rice. And so we just surround there, and you have to eat fast in order to get enough, because everybody is just going at it, you know. And we have few pieces of meat with this rice, and my oldest brother Gazy always wanted to bite the meat before he would pass it around, and I would just grab him, and so many times we fought, me and him.
Oh, wow. Well, something changed, because even as a young person, you begin to do things. So what do you remember about doing things to make your life different?
I realized when I came to a realization, you know, I was old enough to realize my surrounding.
Like what age? Give me an idea. I know you remember exactly.
Probably about 10, 12.
10, 11,
12, somewhere. I realized, you know, I didn't know how riches really needs to look like, but I realized this way of life is just, this is, you know,
we can do better
than this. I am going to change this. I made an inner vow that myself and my siblings are going to be different. My generation was going to be different. So then with that, I started out selling whatever I could get my hands on. You know, I remember.
Now, did somebody come to you and tell you to do that? Did your mom come to you?
It was just me.
You just rose up?
It was just me. Okay. You know, before then, my mother will, you know, travel and get, if it's yam season, she's selling yams. If it's the mango season, so I'll follow her to the market. You know, I was always the one tagging along with her in the market. And days she couldn't go, I'll go with a friend of hers or something like that. So I just made up my mind I was going to change things. And I remember I would take condensed milk, if you know that, sweet, thick condensed milk. Put it in the stove and just turn it and make toffee, you know, cut it up and make peanut brittle. You know, in the schools during lunch break, I have a corner. You know, I'm sitting there and I'm selling my stuff. Even when kids are playing, I'm selling stuff. You know, I get back home in the evening. There was a lady, a baker in our neighborhood that I made a pact with. So she would leave me a certain amount of bread every evening. After homework, after cooking and cleaning, and I was the number 2 of 11. So, and she wasn't that well. I did most of the work.
Wow.
You know, I started cooking early, cleaning early. I didn't really have what you call the childhood, you know, let's go play, I didn't know too much of that. You know, so I will take this bread, and when I finish everything, there was a gas station near my house. I will go there, and when the car pulled up, I'll carry my bread on my head. You know, when you see people carrying things on the head, it's real. Carry things, my bread.
Can you still carry things on your head?
Oh yeah. My neck has been made strong by the hand of poverty.
Wow.
So I'll carry this bread and I'll run to whatever car, and hard bread. And this is no hard bread. It was baked that morning, but to me it was hard bread.
Well, the African sun made it hot, so it was kind of hot a little bit. Go ahead.
That's how I'll, you know, bring the money home. And I was always, if it's mango season, weekends, I'm going to the market.
Wow.
You know, so I did all of those things.
So there's a need. Nobody had to tell you, but
Yes.
something inside just said, there's something better than this, and you begin to do things.
Yes.
And bring things home to help the entire family.
Yes.
Wow. So
Yes.
things, I guess, got a little bit better.
It got a little bit better because, you know, and then I got into earlier teenage years, you know, and I love to read. So I'll read whatever I lay my hands on. And so one day I read a book, and there was a line in that book that said, I wasn't put on earth to achieve greatness. I was already born great.
I wasn't put on earth to achieve greatness.
I was already born great.
Wow.
And I was like, it's like the light bulb came on. You know, whether that was factual or not, something just clicked in my spirit that I don't care how it looks like, I am already born great.
Wow. Do you hear that out there? That's not a message just for her in the book. I think that's a message for you today. We're not here to just achieve it. We were born in it.
We were born great.
We just have to step into it.
Yes, in my destiny, my DNA is something already great.
Wow.
I just have to figure out how that is and step into it.
I hope you're hearing it. And your DNA is already something great. You just got to learn to step into it. Now, I'm Kyle Searcy. This is my wife. And you are in our pre-service. Our main service is going to begin in just a little while. We're talking about destiny and how to fight for destiny. And we're going back and looking at some of Pastor Kimmy's life and some of her stories. And this is fascinating stuff, man. So you read that, and you remember that being kind of a changing point in your life.
It just changed everything because I was no longer looking at myself like, you know, I was looking at myself with the eye of greatness. I'm great, you know. I'm going to make this happen. And it's not just me. I'm going to bring my siblings along with it. As many as want to be helped.
Wow.
Where this is not where we're going to remain.
Wow. So that led to you as a teenager leaving Ghana. And going, and I guess it was just opportunity because back then Nigeria was like the New York.
My father was back home in Nigeria.
Right.
You know, and so we decided we were going, myself and my sister, you know, we just got our stuff together and we left. Okay. And I got there and I got a job at one of the actually the biggest import and export company in Nigeria called FAHOW, you know, and I worked there. I had the opportunity to buy and sell on the side. You know, they liked me, they opened doors for me, and, you know,
So things began to go well.
Things began to go well.
And then some other things began to challenge you a little bit in Nigeria. We didn't have time to talk about all of that, but then that led you making another move.
Yes.
And that led you coming here to the U.S.
Yes.
So talk about that transition.
Which was God totally, like you said, we don't have time, but he knocked at my door and the opportunity talked to me about coming here. My brother, I had sent my brother here already going to school here in Georgia State.
Okay.
You know, I sent my brother. He was only a year older than me. You know, I figure out how to get a visa. I figure out how to get a ticket. I sent him, I was paying, you know, probably 20 something, you know. So God started knocking at my door about coming here, and I'm like, you know, people come to the U.S., live for so many years, and come back home and looking for rent somebody's building.
They don't have anything.
They'll come and rent a building.
And you were doing
me.
fine in Nigeria.
Yes,
You're actually doing well.
I was doing well. There was no reason for me to wanna, I'm taking care of everybody back home, and but I realized God was speaking, even though I wasn't saved.
Yeah.
He knows how to get you.
He'll get a message
destiny.
to you. He knows how to guide you. Yeah.
He spoke through total unbelievers, and confirmed the fact people were having dreams and stuff. And so I ended up here. And first I landed in Chicago, and he didn't want me in Chicago.
No.
And just
steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, aren't they?
God.
Oh man, God's guiding you and leading you. This is good. Welcome. Come on in. This is good stuff.
So I ended up here, and now here I am.
Wow.
What's your next question?
So, well, you ended up in Chicago, then you ended up planning in Atlanta, but you weren't saved when you came here.
Yes.
So all of this is just you saying, you know what, I want more, I want better, I want something different. And God was there, and we know that now looking back, but you didn't really have a consciousness of God.
Yes.
You just had a consciousness of, no, I don't have to stay here.
Yes.
I don't have to stay like this. There's something better for me. And you kept pressing and kept fighting.
Pressing.
And then even you came here, and then first you thought you'd go back, but then you decided to stay here. But then you met the one who had been guiding you the whole time. Tell us that story.
Yes, I only prayed when I got something became sticky.
Yeah.
When I found myself in trouble, I said, oh God,
Like
get me
most
out.
people.
Because my brother was saved, my sister was saved. I lived around them, they forced me into churches, but I didn't, my heart
you
was
weren't
never
there. You never,
so
you're just a religious girl.
I knew the lingos,
Yeah.
So I came here and, buying and selling houses with my brother in Atlanta. We were doing well, things were moving along. Boom, he died, so I was by myself then. And one day before he died, actually, I was watching television. One Sunday morning, I was watching something, and, that was over, and the preacher comes on and started preaching. So I'm sitting there listening, and for the first time, it was like somebody was reading my mail.
Somebody was talking to you.
For the first time, I've sat under Kumuyi. They dragged me to deeper life many times, and I've seen signs and wonders, great signs and wonders. It never faced me. But this time, for the first time on the screen, it's like something broke inside of me. And I was just crying, just boohoo crying.
Boohoo crying. There you go. How come every time you cry, it's boohoo crying?
So I did what I knew to do. I was looking for a church. I got dressed. I walked down my street, and there's a church close. So I went in, and the preacher was preaching, and I sat at the back at the whole time boohoo crying.
Boohoo crying. Is there any other crying you do other than boohoo crying, or is it always boohoo
little
crying?
Cries with tears.
Okay, so you got the little crocodile cry.
That's
the boohoo cry. All right, so you were deep into the cry. All right, she was boohoo crying, y'all.
So anyways, the preaching was over, but he didn't give an altar call.
Okay.
And I went twice. After that, he didn't give an altar call. Then a day or two later, a phone rang, and it was a pastor, African pastor, looking for a building for his church. And he saw us in the yellow pages, and he called, and it led me into the church, Deeper Life Church, and that's where I believe I was already saved. I've become so conscious of sin. I've made up my mind I'm going to change this lifestyle, before I even went to that church. So I officially walked down and gave my life to the Lord that Sunday.
And then even after you got saved, you still had to fight for destiny, because the brother that you sent here got tragically killed. Then you're here all alone.
Yes.
Don't have any resources, and you still had to fight.
Lost a lot of properties in the process. It's like everything was but I knew that I was born great.
Yeah.
I knew that there was a destiny to my life. I knew that there was no stopping. I don't care what the disappointment or what the let down. I've always known that I need to pick up myself and keep on running.
Just keep on going.
If I can keep on running, I can hit it one day.
Wow.
That's always been me. And up until today, that's still the philosophy.
And we
keep on running.
Keep on running.
When he finishes this, God, we praise you, we thank you, but God, next.
Keep on running.
Yes.
Because a lot of people don't understand, whatever door you're about to walk into, there will be adversaries.
Yes.
There will be opposition. There will be things that try to stop you. And nothing you've ever done in your life has been easy. Nothing I've ever done has been easy. Nothing most people do comes easy. And I think a lot of people just sort of kind of wait. They just have a posture of, let's see what happens. But you've got to press. You got to fight. Timothy says that according to the prophetic words that went before you, that you might war a good warfare. So you got to press. You got to war. So every new stage. So now you're in Atlanta.
Yes.
You're now saved.
Yes.
You're in church.
Yes.
And in the church you got persecution.
Oh yes, much persecution.
Yeah. And back it up. So we're in this real holiness church.
Yes.
And there's a lot of ways you got to dress and carry yourself. And that wasn't quite your style.
Yes.
So you had persecution on that.
Yes.
You had folks there was, just give us a short snippet of how you had to fight.
I had to fight. I had a dream. God showed me a dream. By this time, all I was doing was fasting, praying, so I'm seeing things, I'm dreaming things. And I had a dream about a particular person in the church, church leader. And I went and told the dream to the person, and the person
begin to persecute
me because what the dream was the exact thing that had happened in his life. So when the thing began to leak out, he thought it was me.
Oh, okay. So you were unfairly maligned.
I was unfairly. This is
so from the top down, you were persecuted.
Yes, from the person I was fasting and praying for.
Okay.
In a small church, when the preacher stand up to preach with you in mind, everybody knows what is going on.
Wow. So
so there was a serious persecution.
In fact, you almost left at one point, didn't you?
I almost left, and God had to bring me back.
Okay. Because had you left,
I would have missed out.
You would have missed out.
And this handsome
on
dude.
the brother. Hallelujah.
Let me tell a quick bit of that story.
Go ahead. Tell a quick one.
Because I was being persecuted so much, so much. I mean, I can tell you stories. That one day I just decided I wasn't going back. I'm not going back to this place anymore. After all, there are many churches in town. And so I didn't go one Sunday. And I had a dream about that Wednesday. Now, about probably the next, I think it was Tuesday or so. I had a dream. In the dream, I see a tall man in a long white robe came to me and said, Kemi, I came to look for you in the church. But when I came, you were not there. Wow.
And this is a dream.
It was in the dream. I came to look for you, but you weren't there. Why were you not there? And I said, the Lord. I knew him to be the Lord. I said, Lord, so-and-so is saying this about me. So-and-so is saying this about me. So-and-so is persecuting me. And he said, so you went there for so-and-so, and you went there for so. He repeated what I was. You went there for this person. I said, no, Lord, I went there for you. I went for you. And he said, if you did go for me, how come you were not there when I came to look for you?
Wow.
He said, I came to bring you the one thing you have always asked for. But when I came, you were not there.
Wow.
I was boohoo crying in the dream.
There you go, boohoo crying again.
I was crying so hard.
Wow.
I woke up crying.
Wow.
I woke up crying. How come you were not there when I came looking for you?
Then you had to go back.
Then I had to go back.
And still fight it out.
And the persecution was worse.
It got worse, not better.
Yes.
But you had to fight it out.
But I had to stand on my ground.
Wow.
And the Lord, and not too long after that, I think maybe a few months after that, something happened, and the pastor had to step down.
Right.
And then you came.
That's when I came to be your pastor.
And that's when you came to be my pastor.
Yes.
So
after you had already been dreaming about me 5 months.
After dreaming about you 5 months. It's when I went back, I started dreaming the dreams.
Wow.
For 5 months.
Wow.
And then when you came and everything was revealed, then I realized what God was saying.
You know what I'm thinking about? How many people maybe miss out because they don't stay and fight?
Because of disappointment.
Yeah, because of disappointment, because they don't stay and fight. And whatever your destiny is, it's not always going to be easy, but you got to press into it. You got to fight for it. You got to stay in there. And God equips you to fight for it. So now, part of what God told you, the thing you always wanted, that had to do with relationship, right?
Yes.
That had to do with us.
Yes.
but you almost left and missed out on that.
Yes.
But then we came together. Remember, God started giving us all them dreams. And
And
it was fighting.
it was a fight.
Yeah, let's talk about that for just a second. It wasn't me and you fighting, but boy,
All kinds
you
of-
remember details more than me.
All
What kind of
kinds
warfare?
persecution started again,
Yeah.
dreams, threatening dreams.
Mm.
I had one dream that you were a drug addict. I had a dream that you were smoking the pipe.
And I've never smoked it in my life.
Yes.
I've never, the stuff you saw me doing in the dream, I've never touched it in my life.
Yes.
But the enemy is trying to scare you away from me.
Exactly.
Wow.
All kinds of scary things. And there was one dream I had before during the time I was having dreams about you before you came. I had a dream that I was in a beach, a place that looked like a beach, a hotel room kind of setting that opened straight into the ocean. And so I was going out of that room and then I saw you coming in. And I saw you with this lady that I knew was a part of this church here in Montgomery, Marian. And you and her were holding hand. You were holding her hand like this. And as soon as you saw me, you just let her hand go. And
In the dream.
In the dream. And the Lord said to me, this is your problem here. Get up and pray.
So let's face it. God's telling you what your future's about.
Yes.
But then there's a problem. And I know what the problem was because I was in it. I'm in Montgomery, Alabama. I don't know you. I don't know God speaking to you.
Yes.
I don't yet know the destiny he has. But I know in Montgomery, there were a lot of people who are saying, this is what you should do. This is your future. This is who you should hang with. There was a big conspiracy,
Marian, right?
not by the pastor of the church, but by other people that were in the church just saying, hey, this is what you ought to do. And there was pressure there. You're in Atlanta, and it's the same person you saw in the dream, and a voice says, this is your problem. Get up and pray.
Yes.
In other words, fight for your destiny.
Fight for your
Fight
destiny.
for what I'm telling you is supposed to be. Because the enemy will try to bring something else to pass. The enemy will try to do something else. And people need to hear that. In relationship issues, when you're raising children, those children are not coming out right. You don't just submit to that and just say, oh, I'm just going to let it. You fight for that. You war for that.
Yes.
You pray for that.
Yes.
You pray for what you know God said. And that's what he said. Get up and pray. And you begin to pray. And you didn't pray for harm to come to nobody.
Yes.
But what did you pray?
I just pray that God, whatever the enemy is trying to supplant, remove in Jesus' name. Break whatever this is, if there is anything like that in the real life that is not.
Because you really didn't know if it was real.
I didn't know.
Just begin
I
to
said,
pray.
Lord, break it, destroy it in the name of Jesus. I prayed. I went back to sleep peacefully. And that was the end of it.
And it's later on after we got connected.
Then I asked you the question.
You asked
I was
me.
like, who is this person?
And I told you the
and
story.
you told me the story.
Yes. Wow.
And then eventually, when we got engaged, she stood up and was all kinds. She even came to the wedding with a black dress on, ready to fight.
It was a plan of the enemy.
Yes.
All kind of warfare. So here's the point in all that we're saying. Whatever God's will is for you, there will be opposition, but you have to fight.
Yes.
You have to press in. You have to run after it.
Yes.
You have to go forward. And God can equip you to war for your inheritance. And the reason why we're dealing with this now is because we really believe this is a season when many are about to press into destiny. The state of Alabama, many of you watching from all around this nation, there's something that's shifting, something moving, and God is ready for you to be positioned for a place of destiny. But opposition sometimes makes people feel like, where's God? And God might not be working. No, in the midst of that, you have to deal with it. And I'm going to be talking about that in this message in just a minute. Warring for your inheritance. You cannot miss it. Text somebody, screen them, share the word, do whatever you got to do, but tell them, get this word in your spirit, because I really believe destiny is on the other side of it. Now, let me give you a quick update on where we are. We're going to begin working toward meeting back indoors the beginning of November. We're going to have 3 more outdoor services. One is going to be September 27th, then October 11th, and October 25th. Those are outdoor services, but we're coming back indoor, 2 morning services, 9 and 11 on November 1, and we are greatly looking forward to it. We had a service just about a week and a half ago or a couple of weeks ago, and it was a great service. Our team is getting ready for you, so we're doing that. We're going to continue to do online things. We got 3 more outdoor services. Listen, we want to see you, whether it's outdoor, whether it's indoor, whether it's continue to be online because of where you are, that's fine, but let's continue to allow God to be God. And here's what we want you to do. Come on, war for your inheritance. war for your destiny. So you, my friends, are about to enter into an amazing service. So clap your hands, all ye people. Shout unto God with a voice of triumph. Let's get ready to praise and worship the Lord. Kimmy, we thank God for your story. Girl, you fought. And God's been good, and we're still pressing in. We're still going after destiny. There are greater things ahead for us. So we're still warring for our inheritance. And I'm telling you, my friends, the best is yet to come. So God bless you. Enjoy this word. Hey, I'm Kyle Searcy. Have you ever thought about writing a book? Well, I've got something for you. I just wrote a book. My 18th book is on how to write a book. You need to get a copy of this book. It's very simple, it's practical. It shows you how to, it takes the mystery away from it. This will be a great blessing to you. Click the link on your screen and get a copy today of How to Write a Book. It will bless you.
We are all on a journey, a path to somewhere, and stories of that journey make us who we are. See, everyone has a story to tell, but not everyone knows how. How to Write a Book by Dr. Kyle Searcy teaches you how to leave a legacy that will last forever. Visit the website below to buy your copy today.